God the glory.
And then to Madam?
Yes, I really enjoy my stay here, more especially the water. It's very nice and warm.
The Yankari Game Reserve has rich wildlife resources. The reserve is an important refuge for over 50 species of mammals, including African bush elephants, olive baboon, potash monkeys, tantalus monkeys, antelopes, African buffalo, and waterbuck, which is the predominant mammal found in the reserve among others. There are over 350 species of birds found in the game reserve. Of these, 130 are said to be residents, 50 are palearctic migrants, the rest are intra-African migrants. Indeed, the Yankari Game Reserve is recognized as having one of the largest population of elephants in West Africa, estimated at more than 300 in 2005.
What makes the Yankari unique is that there are certain species of animals and even the warm spring that are not found easily anywhere in any part of the world. Like the elephant species that are here, you can hardly find them anywhere in the world right now. The species that are existing there, the elephant. This was confirmed by the visitors from Kenya, from South Africa, from other places that have similar animals, confirming that these are rare animals that need to be clearly classified as endangered. So you have to, by all means, try to preserve them and protect them.
There are some 52 species of mammals, non-species of mammals in the reserve. Then we divided them into 28 families. We have carnivorous family, we have reptiles, amphibian, semi-aquatic mammals, aquatic mammals, and many more. Then there are 350 bird species. 150 are resident. Then 50 are migrated, but they used to come from abroad and spend there some months, then they part. Then the remaining 150 are locally moved within the country. Maybe during rainy season, they used to make their destination out there, while during dry season, they will depart to another, but within the Nigerian, within the country. So we have 26 fish species in this reserve. Then we have 17 of amphibians, 17 of reptiles, then 7 of amphibians.
Yankari is ready for tourists at all times. The availability of tourist facilities makes it an ideal tourist destination. The Wiki Camp is the tourist center of the game reserve. The camp has been built and named after the Wiki Warm Spring. Here, you find various sizes and qualitative well-furnished chalets available, as well as other recreational and sporting facilities for the comfort of tourists and other visitors.
The infrastructure, if you've been to Yankari, you'll discover that you can compare it with any tourist attraction in the world. So with the global crisis in oil prices, you know, there's a paradigm shift to other sectors of the economy to see that other sources of revenue are developed so that the sole dependence on oil is minimized. So Bauchi State is not an exception. The government is taking bold steps to see that the potentials of Yankari Game Reserve is developed to the fullest, so that the required revenue is obtained there, so that over-dependence on oil will be minimized for the government. So as I'm talking to you now, all the infrastructure and the other services at Yankari are operating at their optimal level. The current governor of recent traveled to Czech Republic and signed a memorandum of understanding with the Zilin Zoo at Czech Republic to partner with Yankari. They were so fascinated from what they hear and what they see that they want to establish a mini zoo there and inscribe the name of Yankari Game Reserve, Bauchi, Nigeria. And they even requested that we should give them some of the animals that are there that can be transported there, so that they will be solely Yankari animals and other species of plants. And currently, this is going on by the government.
The camp also houses a museum, which is well stocked with a variety of skins, tusks, bones, and fully mounted stuffed games in the reserve. Parts of animals which a visitor could not view during safari are displayed in the museum.
Complete elephant carcass, the head, the lower jaw, the upper jaw, femur, and the ribs, you see. And this is the food for the elephant. For the young, here is for the mature, or for the bulls. Then this is elephant skin, the skin of elephants, you see. Elephant skin. So this is among the migrated bird, white stock. And this is secretary bird. It's among the president one. Yeah. This bird, where it lived in the bush, they used to stay on open place. It feed on snake and insects. Before it take a flight, it will run. Before landing. Then after landing, it will maintain the running as aeroplane. Yeah. Chatting goshawk, Senegal parrot, Loughton dog, we have Namagua dog, lizard buzzard, bonal, bush baby, bush rig, purple glossalin, Abyssinia roller, black crown, tegra, then we have rufous crown roller.
Yankari is like a place where you could come and have fun and see what you could not see out there. And it's a lot of experience in Yankari. There are so many things to learn and so many historic things here. There are so many things actually.
So, why not pay a visit to one of the few areas in West Africa where wildlife are protected in their natural habitat? Do engage in safari and have a value for your time and resources. The place is Yankari Game Reserve. Surely, Yankari Game Reserve is key in the development and promotion of tourism and ecotourism in Nigeria.
I am Adeola Omokibi, and the program you're watching is Sports Real. Keep a date with us.
Fans, they don't understand the rules or the laws of the game.
Hello and welcome to that program of yours on the NTA Sports Channel, Knowing Golf.
And thanks for joining us on another edition of Sports Guest on the NTA. My name is Kenneth Emma Abodike. Welcome indeed to Saturday Sports Arena on the NTA Sports 24.
It would not be if you continue to just have these vague means of saying these are the yardsticks I want to use.
League Service, a program designed to bring you up to speed with happenings in Nigerian football leagues.
Come along with me as I introduce all the ingredients for the umoyo soup. Now this is my salt to taste. This is my red oil, palm oil. This is called tatache, also known as red pepper. This is atarugu, known as hot pepper. This is my onions, seasoning. This is my tilapia fish. You can see it's freshly. This is my tomatoes. This is my gari. It's always good to serve the moyo with gari. Then this is my lime. And that is what makes it to be called umoyo soup. Without the lime, you can't get the umoyo taste, which is commonly found among the people of Ojo. They are also known as the Aworians. You need to remove the scales before it will be good for consumption. So preferably we cut it to our preferred sizes. So as it is, I'm going to add a little salt. They don't use stone or something that will, you can't just blend once. You blend till you don't see anything seed. It has to be very, very smooth. Pepper is ready, tomato is there, the onions and the red pepper also is there. So I put my oil on the fire for it to be fried. Add your peppers according to the quantity of stew you want to make. While we wait for the stew to be ready for 3 minutes, I'll go down to dice my lime. Of course, the last thing I will add to the stew. At times, some limes could be strong. With your chopping board, place your hand on it and turn it around this way so you can get the water from the lime. To squeeze the lime while I wait for the stew. Some people add in both places. They add on the fish. They also add in the stew. And that is the beauty of it. That you don't allow your imoyo soup to be thick. So I'll now apply my juice extracted from the lime. Taste of it. Check. Wow. This is the real taste of imoyo soup. I have to remove the fish one after the other so it doesn't get scattered. It is better to serve with eba. But for the Aworians, they prefer the white gari, which is made by them. Cover it a while. Right now I'm going to dish out my gari.
My name is Mrs. Ajala Olushola. I'm one of the food vendor for the school, home-grown school feeding. This is where I do my cooking every morning before I take the food to school. I heard of it from the media. It was announced that those who are interested should apply. And I applied for it, I was screened, then I was chosen to serve. Then the financial aspects of it, I now benefit from it, unlike when I was idle at home. Apart from that, the homegrown school feeding has exposed me to meeting a lot of people. Thereby, my own business as a caterer can now increase, where I'm now connected to a lot of people.
Information is power. Everyone wants power. So feel powerful with the NTA News mobile app, the one-stop information center. Real news at your fingertip. Be the first to report by uploading first-hand information on the U-Report link. And be the first to know by simply clicking on any of the links on the sidebar for headlines, domestic and foreign news, economy, security, politics, sports, and more. Stream live on your smartphone and tablets and stay connected. It's pretty easy. Simply download NTA News app from your Google Play Store and you're good to go. NTA News mobile app, your access to real-time information.
This is the network service of the NTA.
Hello and welcome to the program. I am Dennis Adigunloye. The National Assembly is currently on recess, scheduled to resume on the 16th of January. Pending resumption, this edition of Senate 109 will focus on agriculture, where the Senate Committee on Agriculture and Rural Development has emphasized the need for more collaboration between related agencies and development partners to scale up performance in the sector. This was a key aspect of discussions between the committee and agencies and parastatals under the Federal Ministry of Agriculture. Here are some highlights of the oversight visits.
This is an annual ritual that we do. We go around all the parastatals under the ministry that we are charged with overseeing to see how you're performing, how your previous year's budget performed and how the current year's budget is performing. How is it affecting you in the various areas of capital, overheads, recurrent, or salaries and wages, as we call them popularly, to see how, these budget provisions are performing.
I will briefly want to remark, sir, that this is a regulatory agency. So the mandates we have to carry out is actually to regulate the practice of animal husbandry in this country. And we have been doing that. We are a relatively young agency created by your act of your parliament in 2007. And we have been operating in three broad areas: industry regulation, professional regulation for our colleagues, as well as mandates for social advocacy. Mr. Chairman, I would like to say that between the time your committee last came here and now, the Institute has made some remarkable progress, but nevertheless, we still have tremendous challenges in trying to function within the mandates set for us, and one of the major challenges is that of funding. It occurs every year, but again, we have been within the limits of the funds that have been given to us, been able to also make some progress. Apart from these fiscal structures, delivering on our mandates, we have been able to set some regulations in place to regulate the feed mill industry in Nigeria. And I would like to report also that that has taken off in the sense that recently we started inspection and audit of feed mill companies in this country. We have started from the Northwest Zone. And also in driving our mandates, we have been able to forge cooperation with organizations like the International Industry Feed Federation, IFIF, and right now we are the Secretariat of IFIF of the FAO in Nigeria, which is also taking a look at sanitizing the feed industry, because we believe that if we get the feed standards right, then our animals will be we'll also be able to produce standard products. And in doing that, sir, IFIS has been working with us, and I would like to report that recently they have agreed to cooperate with this institute to develop standard operating procedures for operators in the feed industry. So we have made quite some milestone in that regard, in spite of the shortage of funds. And for social advocacy, we have forged very strong collaboration with species association in Nigeria, like Poultry Association of Nigeria, Sheep and Goat Association, and other associations that have to do with cattle production, like Meiti Allah Cattle Breeders Association, and so on and so forth. So we are moving in the three fronts in synergy, and again within the agricultural production policy of the present government of President Muhammadu Buhari, contributing a little quota to make sure that that policy succeeds through our parent ministry.
We really appreciate what you've done.
Between this 2017 and 18, we were able to get the approval of the president for veterinary practicing premises registration regulation. The veterinary practicing premises registration regulation is a regulation that has come up to be able to help us stem and stop the act of quacks, people who are not well trained, by, in essence, wherever a veterinarian will practice, he will be registered, that premise will be registered. It had been a challenge, and so it was presented, FEC got it, and eventually the president approved it in the process of gazetting. And this will help also, like I said, to strengthen veterinary professionalism and control, thereby getting rid of quacks in the profession. We also are involved in accreditation and visitation of faculties and colleges of veterinary medicine. Like I mentioned, the Veterinary Council's mandate is, one, to regulate the standards and to regulate the teaching and practice of veterinary medicine in Nigeria. And so anything that has to do with teaching and practice of veterinary medicine, the council regulates it. So we have been able to re-accreditate some faculties this year. It's in the report. I know we're in a hurry, I'll just run through. And also exam observation is part of the things that we do to ensure that the veterinarians that are turned out are quality veterinarians. This we have been able to do also in 2017 and 2018. It involves going out to these places to see what they are doing and ensure that the standards are maintained. Annual Professional Continuing Education is also a program that we carry out every year. It's a program that is meant to educate and bring the knowledge and skills of veterinary doctors practicing outside who are in the institutions to ensure that they are on with the current settings in animal disease or in whatever area of veterinary medicine. Because of challenge over time and funds, we only do it twice in a year. one in the north to take care of northern veterinary doctors, one in the south to take care of southern veterinary, is very, very inadequate. But that is what we're able to do. So we have been able to do it in 2017. We did it also in 2018. I also want to say again that we do not have any funds coming from any development organization or aid from any donor agency. Also, we do not have any funds coming from international. This is in brief, sir.
And one doesn't hear anything, then one doesn't see anything until you come here. This story, we got back to the same story last year. I was tempted to say, tell us between between our last coming and now, what specific new goals you have scored from your primary mandate. You know, but when I see your financing gearing, you feel disabled to ask those challenging questions. But we cannot afford to just say, well, it's difficult, we'll keep trying. That is not enough. I've been associate of Senate Committee on Agriculture. This is the 8th year. I don't remember, even when I was not chairman, I don't remember my attention being drawn, our attention being drawn to some of these major challenges outside our coming to visit. And that is not good. It doesn't help you. There is a limit. Seek an appointment. We'll give you an appointment. You come there. Even if your problem cannot be solved by one committee alone, we can find a way of mobilizing members of other standing committees of the Senate. I appreciate the pressure under which you're having to perform.
Thank you, sir.
But it takes more than just being gentle. Yes. You need to perform. As a young person that I still see you are, you want in a year or 2 or 3, 4, they want your CV. You say, this is what I did. I want to see that you are a registrar of an institution like this, anywhere in the civilized world. They will respect you. But the other question will be, what did you achieve? And you should be able to stand up and answer. Okay?
The Council has successfully, or is about returning to departmental structure as it used to be in the past, which the Honorable Minister has graciously approved, and then the Governing Board has ratified. So any moment from now, we are restructuring to departmental system instead of program system as it is now. That is for service, effective service delivery. And the major challenges we have been facing is just like as usual is finances. It's just as usual finances. Most especially the overhead. We face more problem of the overhead than the capital. Because the capital issue to us appears as something general. But the overhead issue does not even permit us to discharge our duties effectively. Just one example, we supervise and coordinate the activities of research, 15 research institutes and 11 colleges of agriculture. Most of them will come here with a problem that will require investigation, a committee going there. But unfortunately, we cannot go because we wouldn't have any resource to go there. So that one has been delaying a lot of our operational activities. And the budget office has always been telling us to maintain the existing budget, the previous budget. Even this year, they asked us to maintain the previous budget, and this has been the major challenges.
We all know that improved seed variety is actually very critical to enhancing agricultural productivity and ensuring food security. And the funding situation, like you mentioned, is erratic, sir. Like I mentioned in one of our side meetings, this year we've gotten 10% of our allocation. If I just look through it quickly because I'm just here, for 2018, our overhead costs, the budget was 34 million. As I'm speaking with you, distinguished chairman, distinguished senators, we have got 14 million. Also, our capital budget stands at 1.1 billion. But as we are speaking with you today, we've gotten 119 million, representing 10%. For revenue generation, sir, in 2017, 21 million was generated, and 2018, 28 million have been generated so far. This year, more than 30,000 hectares have been inspected, both for breeder, foundation, and certified safe fields. And 98% met the standards, while 1.5% failed to meet standards.
Now, what are the seeds that you are managing? What are the seeds you are valuing or certifying? What are the names?
Okay.
Well, we cannot be living in abstraction. We should be.
Thank you very much. Arable crop, particularly rice, maize, sorghum, millet, wheat, then cowpea and the rest of them. Then all vegetatively propagated seed, cassava, sweet potato, aged potato, and the rest of them.
Yeah.
And we are going into forest seeds too.
Okay.
So these are the seeds we are talking about.
Okay.
Yes, sir. In 2017, sir.
Yeah.
The capital allocation, if you look at page 2, here is the capital allocation was 997 million.
43.
Yes. But the amount released was 493,
50%.
which is about 52%.
Yeah.
Then for the overhead, 33 million was the appropriation and 20 million was released, which is 87%. Then for the personnel appropriation, which is for salary and co, 817 was appropriated and the whole was released.
You are not in the central payroll system.
We are in the IPPIS.
Okay.
Yeah, we are. We are. And on page 3, you have the various projects that were executed and the various levels of performance, particularly because of the quantum of money that was released to date. Also on page 4, sir, is the performance of the overhead cost. Like I mentioned, 33 million was what was appropriated, but what was released was 20 million, and the balance of 30 million was outstanding.
Internal generated revenue?
Yes, the internal generated revenue is actually on page 5. And the total that was generated was 21 million, which was paid into trust. 2018 capital
1.19 billion. That is approximately 1.2 billion.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yeah.
That's 1.197423968.
And you received
119,742.
Okay.
396. Yes, sir. That is what we have received to date.
That is the 10%.
Yeah, that's the 10%.
Okay.
For the overhead budget, sir, 34,230,182 was what was appropriated. And out of this, 14 million has been released so far. And the last one was in September. Yeah. Then, yes, for personnel costs, it is 739,538, and allocation received today 616, and the balance is actually 123 million, sir.
When you are so underpaid,
yes, sir,
under personnel, how do you handle the situation? Is it to suggest that you go without salaries for the?
We are being paid by PPI, so we have a way.
No, I think it's only 2 months that are remaining. November, December.
I just want us to note the fact that the City Council, as an institution of government, is not involved with the direct sales of seats in any form. That's the record available to the Senate, available to us.
Yeah.
And there, to that extent, we don't expect revenue from sales, except for fees that are to be paid for certification and such other operations, which would not involve dollars. But the point made by distinguished Ogala is the fact that there are developing partners. There are developing partners that are always desirous of helping us as a developing country to improve our agriculture. They come and propagate issue of food security and what have you. This can only be done if we're able to have the appropriate gearing for production of various commodities to feed and for our industrial requirements. And they are desirous to that extent to help us as a country. And once in a while they come with some donations or some funds to help. Sometimes or equipment, sometimes addressed to some specific needs of whatever agency they are trying to assist. Now we must be honest with ourselves. Where we have such aid, such assistance, let it be known. Let there be record of it, because if nothing else, we owe them a responsibility of expression of gratitude. We go for international seminars, workshops, and what have you, and sometimes you meet officials of these organizations, and when you talk, you get embarrassed, to show ignorance of maybe some assistance they've been providing your country, or you are making some observations that border on failure to assist, failure to help us as a developing country, and that kind of stuff in this particular kind of sectors. So it's always good to know.
Finally, here are excerpts of a follow-up visit to the Amnesty Office by the Senate Committee on Niger Delta Affairs.
Dear colleagues, let's say to Mr. President of Amnesty and coordinator of the Amnesty program. We are here this morning to perform part of our constitutional role of oversighting agencies and respective of ministries in the federal government of Nigeria. In this case, this amnesty program is within the purview of the Committee on Niger Delta Affairs. And let me make it clear that we are not here to bush hunt anybody. We are not here to drag anybody down. We are here as your colleagues in the development of the Niger Delta and we have come to make our own contribution where necessary. And where there is need to reprimand, we will not fail to do that. From the Senate President to the last senator in Nigeria is aware. Because of so many complaints they have been having, and so all of them want to know the outcome of this oversight we are doing today. And it will also help when we hear certain things being said. We want to be in a position to defend if necessary, and also to say this is what we have had, this is not the true position. So we want to know what is happening so that we can all be speaking in one voice. So I want to sincerely, first of all, thank you, the special advisor. I must say that since you came on board, there must have been a little bit of good rapport, and we hope that this rapport will continue as we work together. Thank you, and God bless you.
I'm really elated by your presence, because I think you're going to shine more light onto the activities of this organization. We are hopeful that we're going to give you answers to most of what you demanded from the letters that were sent for us. We believe that with the combined effort of both sides, the work of this organization will be highlighted better understood, and better defended wherever issues about this organization is raised. I hope that today's meeting will be very fruitful, and that we are going to show you all that we need. Thank you very much. You're welcome.
We have come here to look at to an oversight visit here, and they have provided us some documents. We need to go and study the documents very well, and then we have also told them that they will, after we have finished studying the documents, they are now going to come to make a defense of those documents, and then after that we want to visit the area, the various sites where they say they are going to trainings and all of that, so that we'll be able to tell the Nigerian people what we have seen and whether it tallies with the document they have given to us.
That concludes the program for this week. Thanks for watching. From all of us here, it's bye for now.
Yes. One day as I did dab, they go. Now I might see my neighbor